What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Amir Reviews here. We back with another video, man. We back with another banger. We back to open the mind. Listen, we back on the setup. Got the mic, and we got a new camera, man. It's looking good, man. It's looking good. My new camera just came through. You guys would have saw it early if you guys were following the Twitch, man. We playing college football 25. I don't know why y'all not in the Twitch, man. It's gonna be on the screen right here. Follow the Twitch, man. We be streaming pretty consistently about like 4 days a week. So if you guys want to watch me play video games, me do reactions, or just chilling with the chat, take a follow. Shameless plug. I know. But without further ado, let's get right into the video, man. So listen, I've been thinking, right? And okay, so let's look at the world as a whole. We know that a lot of people are selfish, right? We know that there's a lot of people that just want to do things for their benefit. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong. You be the judge of that. But there's a lot of people that are just worry about themselves, right? But what I'm starting to realize is why. You know what I'm saying? Like, why be that type of person? Why be rude to just random people that you don't know? See, when I'm at work, right, and a customer comes up to me and asks me a question, and it'd be like the most obvious question. They'd be like, "Oh my God, where are the toothbrushes?" And the toothbrushes be right there. You know, my first reaction could easily be spazzing out, be like, "Oh my God, lady, like they're right there." I could be rude, right? But I don't choose that path. Why? Why? Because I'm in control of what reaction I want to have. I can either go down the angry path, I can go down the rude path, or I can go down the nice path, the respectful path. And that's why I get into the courage to be disliked. I'm gonna focus it. Yeah, the new camera, it can focus. The courage to be disliked, man. I've been reading this book. I just ordered it like last week, and it's a very, very good. I'm gonna show you again. It's a very, very good book so far, man. Oh my God, it's a good book. And in this book, so basically, right, the book is about the courage to be disliked, and how you read it. It's okay. I just turned on the auto tracking by accident, but how you read it is there's a philosopher talking to a younger person. We don't know if it's male. I don't know if it's male or female. I don't think it really discussed. I don't really think it says that. It might say it later in the book, but as of right now, it's just a youth. It says philosopher, and it says youth, right? So the philosopher will say something, and the youth will respond to it. And there's a part in the book, y'all. There's a part in the book where basically, I'm gonna get to it. There's a part in the book where the philosopher is basically saying that you get to decide to turn off your anger, your sadness, your grief, your greed. You get to turn off these emotions. And I wrote down one part. That's another video I want to make, but I know there's a part in here. Man, it was a great part, and I should have wrote it down too as well. I think it's a great book, man. I'll leave the Amazon link in the description so you guys can copy, man. If you guys want to see more book videos about this, me breaking it down, what I get from it, you guys want to hear my thoughts on it, let me know, man. I'll see you guys like the 48 Laws of Power book review I did. I'll have more of those coming soon. Okay. So I'm trying to find it. Okay, so I found the part. It's one chapter in the book where it says people fabricate anger, right? So basically, the philosopher, it starts off by the philosopher saying, or the youth saying, my fault, the young person saying, yesterday afternoon I was reading a book in a coffee shop when a waiter passed by and spilled coffee on my jacket. I had just bought it, and it's my nicest piece of clothing. I couldn't help it. I just blew my top. I yelled at him at the top of my lungs. I'm not normally the type of person who speaks loudly in public places, but yesterday the shop was ringing with the sound of my shouting because I flew into a rage and forgot what I was doing. So how about that? Is there any room for a goal to be involved here? No matter how you look at it, isn't this behavior justified? So then the philosopher, I'm gonna get to my point. Then the philosopher says, in response to that, you were stimulated by emotion of anger and ended up shouting. Though you are normally mild mannered, you couldn't resist being angry. It was an unavoidable occurrence. and you couldn't do anything about it. Is that what you're saying? The youth responds and says, yes, because it happened so suddenly. The words just came out of my mouth before I had time to think. Think about that. I'm going to keep going, but let's just pause for a second. He said, yes, because it happened so suddenly. The words just came out of my mouth and I had no time to think. This used to be me, man. This used to be me. And I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying I'm just a Buddhist monk and I don't respond to anything. We're humans. We're going to have emotions. But I'm learning not to have a reaction to every single thing, right? Because he said it just happened so suddenly. Like, think about that, bro. Think about a situation where somebody angered you, somebody said something you didn't like. It could be any situation. Your mom tell you, man, boy, go do them dishes. And you on the game, you're like, oh my God, like, I'm playing it. You know what I'm saying? Instead of being like, all right, communicate with her and be like, all right, mom, just give me 1 second, I'm gonna do the dishes. Or be like, all right, I got you, I'm gonna do the dishes right now. I'm telling you, that used to be me, man. And we tend to, like the chapter is called, people fabricate anger. We tend to make anger the see all be all. Like, we tend to make emotions and emotion reactions like unavoidable. Like, we can't stop it. And that's not the case. So let's get back to it. So then the philosopher responds to the youth, right? And then he says, then suppose you had happened to have a knife on you yesterday. And when you blew up, you got carried away and stabbed him. Think about that, bro. You see it all the time on the internet, man. A girl cheat on a dude, right? A girl say something to a dude, reject him, and he go crazy. And then you see a case, oh, you know what I'm saying, he kidnapped her, or he stabbed her, he did something crazy to her. Like, what are you doing, man? And it's like you get so caught up in your emotions, you just threw away your whole life over something that you could have been like, all right, have a good day. Or somebody saying something to you on the street. They don't know you from a can of paint. So why is that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Then he says, would you still be able to justify by saying it was an unavoidable occurrence and I couldn't do anything about it? Question mark. The view says that, come on, that's an extreme argument. The philosopher responds and says, it is not an extreme argument. If we proceeded with your reasoning, any offense committed in anger can be blamed on anger and will no longer be responsible and will no longer be the responsibility of the person, because essentially you are saying that people cannot control their emotions. The youth responds and says, well, how do you explain my anger then? The philosopher responds and says, that's easy. You did not fly into anger and then start shouting. Solely that you got angry so that you could shout. In other words, in order to fulfill the goal of shouting, you created the emotion of anger. Oh my God, he is cooking a 5-star meal, bro. He is cooking a 5-star meal. He is cooking a 5-star meal. I'm gonna read that again for y'all. The philosopher said, that's easy. You did not fly into rage and then start shouting. It is solely that you got angry so that you could shout. In other words, in order to fulfill the goal of shouting, you created the emotion of anger. Basically, if you guys don't understand what he means, the goal, he basically said earlier in the book that people have goals. People have goals. It doesn't matter what it is. They have a goal to achieve something. And he's saying that this young person had a goal to shout. So he had to fabricate, he had to make up the anger in his mind. He could have easily been like, oh, it's okay, waiter, it's all right. Things happen. And he's going to get to that. He's going to be like, you could have benefited by just staying calm and being like, it's all right, man, it happens, right? Man, I'm going to read that one more time for y'all. This is crazy, man. He said, that's easy. You did not fly into rage and then start shouting. It is solely that you got angry so that you could shout. In other words, in order to fulfill the goal of shouting, you created the emotion of anger. This man is cooking right now, man. This man is cooking. The youth responds, what do you mean? The philosopher responds and says, the goal of shouting came before anything else. That is to say, by shouting, you wanted to make the waiter submit to you and listen to what you had to say. As a means to do that, you fabricated the emotion of anger. Going back to the name of the chapter, right? I fabricated it, you said. You gotta be joking me. He responds like that all the time. Basically, it started off by him wanting to argue. He wanted to argue. He wanted to have a debate with the philosopher, and he broke down how You know, he goes the youth goes into the book and says he hates himself. He hates himself. He wants to be like his friend, but he can't change. This is that and the third. He's breaking it down like you can change. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be a different video. Um, it's called The Curse Be Disliked, but there's so many different things they touch on as humans, as people, things that we deal with on a day-to-day basis that need to be talked about. And I think I want to share it with you guys. So I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying this camera. It's looking good. You feel me? Look at it. Look at the autofocus, chat. You feel me? Okay. Let me tee up. All right. So then the philosopher, okay, so let me go back to the youth. He said, I fabricated it. You got to be joking. Then the philosopher says, then why did you raise your voice? Question mark. The youth said, as I said before, I blew my top. I was deeply frustrated. You know what I'm saying? He was mad. It was nothing he could do about it, right? That's what we were told to believe. That's what we were fed to believe, that once you're angry, once you're sad, you can't do nothing about it. You just gotta sit in the emotion. Oh man, the emotion doesn't control you, you control the emotion. And I'm slowly and surely learning that, man. So the philosopher then says, no, you could have explained to the waiter without raising your voice, and the waiter would most likely have given you a sincere apology, wiped your jacket with a clean cloth, and taken other appropriate measures. He might have even arranged for it to be dry cleaned. And somewhere in your mind, you were anticipating that he might do these things, but even so, you shouted. I'm gonna read that one more time. No, you could have easily explained to the waiter without raising your voice, and the waiter would have most likely given you a sincere apology, wiped your jacket with a clean cloth, and taken other appropriate measures. He might have even arranged for it to be dry cleaned. And somewhere in your mind, you were anticipating that he might do these things. So somewhere in his mind, he already knew that was an outcome that could have happened. Even so, but he says, but even so, you shouted. Now that's deep right there, bro. Because we know the reactions we can get out of people. We know the outcomes in certain situations we can get. You know what I'm saying? But we tend to let emotions just take over and not think with a clear mind. You hear it all the time, man. I wasn't in my right state of mind. I wasn't thinking, right? That's what happens when you let emotions control you. You don't think, right? So that's really the part I wanted to touch on. I just wanted to touch on that real quick, man. I just want to stop right there because basically that was the whole point of what I said earlier, right? When a customer comes up to me, my V is peeling. This is one of my first shirts, so don't mind this, man. When a customer comes up to me while I'm working, I could easily get mad and be like, man, why are you asking me this question? It's right there. But I think with logic, I'll be like, there's no point to lash out on that person, right? They might be playing with me, they might be playing around, but I don't care. I'm gonna take measures that benefit me the most, because me getting angry could get me in trouble with my job. It can make a whole big scene. I don't want that. So moral of the story, man, this is a great book, The Courage to Be Disliked. I will be making more book reviews about this book here. And don't look at emotion. Don't let emotions control you, man. I know I said it before on my channel, and when I say it, I'm talking to myself and talking to you guys as well. I'm talking to myself first and foremost, right? But don't let it control you, man, because there's situations where emotions can control you, and now you're just cooked. You're cooked. You're cooked. So without further ado, man, that's all I got for you guys today. That was a great video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you guys did enjoy it. I love you all. Stay positive, stay safe, stay disciplined, or you will be disciplined. Until next time, if she ain't get with the program, wait. If she ain't get with the program, she can get the step in. Until next time, until we open the mind once again, Amir Views is out. Bye.